Hi all, I'm Daswell from Roving Gaming, and this is Banished. I was sitting the other day going through my Steam library and came across Banished and realized I haven't played it in ages. So I figured I'd just create a little mini-series, how to get started on hard mode. It is a difficult city building game, and I've never played it on easy. When I started playing quite some time ago, came across a strategy on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name, but I still use the same method to start every map when I do start playing. So in the series, I'll just show you more or less how I get it set up. It's not a tutorial. This isn't a let's play. It's just going to be fairly short. I'm going to run it on quite high speed when I do play, but yeah, we'll just show you more or less quickly how to get set up. So first thing, we obviously need a good flat area, and I'm looking here at the starting point. It looks actually perfect for how we want to set up. I think the original strategy was called Crossroads, and reason for it being the whole methodology has a lot of crossroads in it, easy access, and then it's modular, so you've got your little compartments of everything going on, and it does work pretty well. First thing to do, we obviously pause the game and we start off with a forester's hut. With everything on pause, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay out the initial buildings and then gather the resources for them, and then only will we start building them, and we'll just keep moving each section along as we go. I'll also, when I get going, I leave the forester's hut pinned open. I want to see this boundary line the whole time. Reason being, this is where all the foresters are going to plant the trees, chop the trees from, and everything I want to build initially is compartmentalized within this section here. Not ideal with all the stone and iron that we have out with this particular section, but it's flat and it's close to the starting point. The hardest part when you play Banished is getting through the first winter, especially on hard. You don't have a lot of resources. I can show you, get these set up as well. So yeah, we've got 100 fuel, 20 tools, 20 clothes, and 1200 food, and that is not enough to survive the first winter. First priorities: food, shelter, and firewood. Otherwise, everybody we have, 8 people and 8 adults and 5 children, they will die. So after the forester's hut, let's get ourselves a road. This is the first part of the namesake Crossroads, and we build it across completely. Most of the time you don't really need the roads going all the way to the end, but I do it even so if people are busy fiddling around over here, they at least have road access to get back to where they need to go. Okay, first building is down. We'll put that on pause as well. What else do we need? Right, then we move straight on. Second most important thing we need, firewood. So we put down our woodcutter's hut, put that on pause as well. We don't need that one open. After that, food. So we are going to, in this first initial section, use a lot of gathering and a lot of hunting. That's, for the first little bit at least, it's enough to see us through the first year, maybe 2 years, even moving into 3 years. But then as our population grows, we definitely need to come up with some other methods. So gatherer's hut and a hunting cabin, and then we need somewhere to store all of our stuff. So we will put down stockpile, that should be big enough, and a storeroom as well. And then for the first number of people we have is 6 houses should be okay. Now the thing is, with this method, or with this strategy, you need to keep expanding the houses, or your housing, available housing, for the buildings that you put in. This keeps your population fresh, keeps it growing, makes sure you have a constant supply of children, and then eventually students and adults. So with every section that we build, we always end up adding new houses into the world as well. So I'm just going to put all of these on pause very quickly. Put everything on pause. Okay, there's no way to pause the stock. Oh, you can pause the stockpile. Well, we're not going to anyway. because we need that as soon as possible. So people start over here. This is where the settlers wagon is. That's holding all of our goody majigs that we've got so far. Usually what I would do is I'd start where they are and chopping down trees, but this area here is not the most ideal. So I think what I'll do is I'll bring them up here. What we need to do in order to get all of these buildings built in one shot or as quickly as possible is we need 264 wood and we need 108 stone. So what I do with the trees is I'll harvest them from outside of the circle, because we obviously don't want to impact anything that's going on here with the gatherers and the hunters and available wood. So we'll gather that from outside, and then to allow more space for things to be planted, we'll clear away the stone and the iron from inside. But first and foremost we need the wood. So we will come harvest only the wood. I'll select a rather large area, but when I get up to my 264 I'll just deselect everything there. Like I say, I'm going to run it on... yeah, we'll run it on maximum speed. I'm not going to leave you sitting there watching these guys run around and chop trees. So what I'll do is I'll make a shortcut here, and once we have our the wood we need, and I'll even queue up the stone to start collecting that, then we'll come back and start the building process. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, so as we are gathering up some of the stone now, you can see we've already got the wood. We are already getting very late in the year, so this one's going to be very, very tight. We hope they hurry up with the stone. Things will move quite quickly from there, but it's going to start getting cold and people are going to start running into trouble. Okay, so we've got all our wood, we've got all our stone. Let me just cancel this. I don't want anybody to be distracted by trying to gather stuff. Right, next order of business, while everybody is still a labourer, I want them to take all the resources to all the buildings that they possibly can. This is still over here. It maximizes productivity, gets everybody focused on one task to get it done quicker. So with a bit of luck, I hope I haven't left this too long, but we've got them there. And we will just start going. Population control, very important, especially in this build as well. I always leave at least one labourer available, just so that when people die it automatically fills the spot. But in this case we want everybody as a labourer, and then what I'll do is I'll put as many of them as I can onto building tasks as soon as I can. And we'll even start right now already. They keep coming down here. This is why I try to get the resource gathering as close to this cart as I can, because that's where all their food is. So you know, they need to delay time going all the way down. But for now, this is going to be tight, but we're getting there. Put in a few more builders. As soon as we can, we want to start gathering food and chopping firewood as well. There we go. We've got a forester's hut. So straight away, if I can find the forester, let's assign somebody to a forester's task, and a woodcutter, and we've got the gatherer's hut as well, which is fantastic. So let's get a couple of people in there, and the hunter. Okay. Right, and now people need to build houses, and they need to build houses very, very quickly. Storeroom. Now at least we have a storage barn. So at least now we've got somewhere to store the food. Houses are going up. We're still in autumn, so we have a lot of time actually. This is working well. So food is low, and it will stay low until I can reassign some of these builders. But for now, getting everybody a house that is by far the most important. So every time a new house is built, they go to the storage and grab firewood and they grab food. So that's why you end up running out very, very quickly. And then you'll get your alerts over here. Okay. Early winter, the last house has just gone up. We don't quite have the food yet, but we will soon. I don't need any more builders for the moment, but what I do want is maximum gatherers. Let's see, do we want to, yes, and we'll put another hunter in as well. And then we'll just leave it running for a little bit. We can demolish this along and move everything into the storage barn. And there we go. Everybody has food, everybody has shelter. We're gathering up the firewood. I do want to increase the limits on the food a little bit. They're going to gather the wood is fine. Where am I looking for here? I want fuel to go up to 500. Right, so now while it's a little bit of downtime, we can just focus on clearing out the rest of the stuff inside our sphere of influence. After the winter, or even now before the winter's over, we need to start getting ready. The next things that we're going to need urgently, clothing and tools. If we have a look already, we're running very low on tools and we're already out of clothes. So what this means is, as soon as we run out of tools, the people are they're gonna start working slower, I think it is, and when they run out of clothes, they get colder quicker, so they go back home more often. So we need to set up a supply of tools and clothes as well. And then don't remember the exact ages, but children, I think it's when they get to 10 years of age, they immediately become adults, and then they're available as laborers by default. But if you get a school set up, it takes longer before they're usable as adults, but they are more efficient once they become adults. So those three things, the tailor, the blacksmith, and the school, are next order of priority. So I'm going to lay them out in the meantime. I'll do it up here. Yeah, we'll start building that up this side. Then we'll do the same thing again. We'll gather the resources we need and then get everybody together, get everybody to start building. The problem that we have now as well, not immediately, but we will soon, is there's going to be a population die-off. We've got 9 adults now. They're going to get old and they're going to die. So we need all of this set up as quickly as possible so that the new generations are already replacing the old generation, as they need to. And the whole time juggling this, the what you want to call it, the population, the job market. I want for now maximum people in food production as I can. We'll eventually expand the food production, but for now we just need our basic essentials going. So we'll put down a road. We can make this a crossroad as well, I suppose, just to stick to the namesake. I want to put in, what did I say? Right, over here, don't want the school first. Right. Blacksmiths. We are paused. Yes. Okay, blacksmiths, we put that on pause straight away. We want a tailor. What I do for every 2 professions, or for every 2 jobs that I make available, we'll put in 1 house. So here we've got each of these take 1 person to work in them. So we will put down, if I can click on it correctly, we'll put down 1 extra house, and we want to put down a school, which is there. Okay, put you on pause. You're my lowest priority at the moment, but we'll put all of that on pause. And a house, even though it's a full house just for a teacher, but you'll see jobs will be filled, laborers can go in there, builders, etc, etc. Okay, for these, 5 buildings, we are now going to need 114 logs, 116 stone, and 64 iron. So logs we need to chop, and we also need to get some stone. Iron we're fine, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. There's lots of it available inside here. And I think I still have them gathering stone, which is good. Also set them to chop down some trees. Make sure we get everything we need. This is not critical for survival. We're set up now. They're going to survive. people are going to die, people are going to get born, but in order for expansion and productivity, efficiency, these are going to become quite important quite quickly. And we can see here, children are growing up straight into laborers. I wonder if I can pause this and click on them. No, I can't. No. Okay. Just to see if I can try and see what age it is. But you can see now, because of the houses, male and a female take up a house. Soon thereafter, they will have a child. So this is making sure, by building the new houses, we're going to keep a supply of children. A supply like they're a commodity. The children will keep getting born. They will, once we're done up there, move into, go to school, become students, and then become productive members of society later on. Problem I have at the moment, I don't have a lot of laborers available, so this does take a little while. I think what I'll do is make another cut here, and we'll come back once I've got the resources I need. See you in a bit. Okay, it's taking a little longer than planned. As you can see, a couple more laborers, and I've put them into the forest. I was struggling on the wood side, and that's purely because I put my fuel up too high too soon. I'm going to put it back down to 200. I don't like it at 200, but at least that then frees up. You can see here we've got, he's available now. We've got more than 200, so he now becomes a laborer, and he's going to help with all the other menial little tasks that need to be done: the carrying, the chopping, the fetching. So we will just let this run a little bit more. I keep topping up the foresters as well. We want to get this as independent and self-sufficient as we can, as quickly as possible. But at the same time, while we're gathering our resources, because you'll see any moment now these guys are going to start running out of tools. We're down to 2 and 3. Really, really not a good place to be. Okay, but we have enough stone. So what I will do is cancel the stone collecting orders. And I want people now just to focus on the wood. I've set some trees up over here to be chopped. Might need to do a few more, especially while they're still making all that firewood. Okay, another child was born. Fantastic. I just hope to hurry up and get the trees done. So what I'll do, very first thing I'll do, we'll load up all of these with the resources, exactly like we did down here. And then we will... And then we'll start the building, but I'll do it individually each time. I'll build the blacksmiths, then I'll build the tailors, then I'll build probably the houses, and then only will I build the school after that. And you can halt the construction and that sort of thing. Just don't assign any builders. When you have a builder, they'll start working on any building tasks you have immediately, but if no builders, then what the laborers do, they gather all the resources needed so that the builder can start, not straight away, but when they're available. Okay, there we have all the trees we need, so I'm going to, cancel that chop order, make sure I got everything, and straight away we will start gathering our resources for here, especially before the woodcutters get hold of everything. And we can see our food building up very nicely, especially coming into our second winter now, over 1,000. For now that's fine. Later on it's not going to be so good, and when I say later on, I mean soon enough. It's population grows quite quickly. Alright, yeah, stuff is starting to collect. We can see here 32, 30, and 0. It's fine, it's ample. So what I'll do, I don't have the population, or I don't have any laborers available to start that building. There we go, as I say that. So blacksmith is ready to be built, so I will take one of the foresters away and make them a builder just so that they can get started on there. House is ready. I'll pause that immediately. I don't want builders working on that yet. And I'll do the same for the other 3 when they become available. If they become available. And then I'm going to have to find someone to be a blacksmith. I might end up taking another forester away. I don't want to dig into the food producers yet. For me that's too risky. But you can see here already, tools low. There's the first person without a tool. So decreased productivity, and before too long we're just going to see a lot of people running around without tools. Okay, we'll pause the tailor. I don't want the builder working. Oh, okay. Our blacksmith is ready. So, what are we going to take away? I don't want to gather or take it away. We don't have any farmers. Oh, but I do have a spare labourer. Fantastic. The timing is incredible. So the blacksmiths, they will use the iron we have stored. Only 100 at the moment, but there's a lot of it fairly close by, and they will start making our tools. So we will then start with our builder and go straight ahead on the tailor. And there's more and more people without tools. So timing for this blacksmith has actually worked out very, very well. And hopefully we get a new labourer soon enough that I can just pop someone straight into the tailor. Yeah, we are very low on logs and we're getting low on firewood. So let's just give every... Whoa, that's not what I want to do. A little bit of a helping hand. Okay, we're going to pause the school. We don't want the school built just yet. Okay, let's see what we've got. So we do have a few different varieties of food here. I think the variety contributes towards the citizens' happiness. So the more variety you have, definitely the better they are. So what I will probably do next, first let's go and put ourselves a tailor in. I really don't want to take another forester, but for now that's what we're going to do. Tailor, there you are. Okay, and we will get started on the school. And we're going to pause that house. Once these are set up, I will probably come and... yeah, can't do it there. Probably put in a fishing hut. Great source of food, and also excellent on the variety side as well. Yeah, and then on to the next phase would be another circle just like this one, or another region, more or less identical. Increases the wood that we get, because I mean we are struggling now, and also wood fuel. And then what we do is we replace the gatherer's hut for a herbalist, just to help with the health. But that's sort of 2 steps ahead from where we are at the moment. But that's just the forward thinking of where we're going to go, because we're not really doing too much more over there as well. I'm going to turn this ring off. Well, we'll eventually see as this gets used up here. You see a nice circle of trees where they've all been planted, and we can see where we've cleared away the stone and the... well, I don't think we cleared iron away, but the forest has been planting the new trees, getting ready to go. We will already do a little clearing out here, mainly because we're running low on stone and we're going to need quite a bit soon. Okay, the school is ready. I want to find a teacher, and we put there. So now what we're going to see, we've got 7 children. As they grow, they're going to move over to become students, and then eventually adults. And I've just realized I don't have anybody. Okay, we've got lots of clothes. I'm going to get rid of the tailor and make you a builder. We want some houses. Right, where's the work button? There. Turn that off. We don't want to produce anything just yet. We've got 30, it's fine. When that becomes a problem, we'll change over, but for now, again, I want some more babies, so I need some more houses. Come on. So just to show you here quickly why I've put these things in and say, oh, let me just pin this open just to show you. So we already spoke about the outer ring of the Forester's Lodge. If we have a look at the gatherers in relation, so it's not quite lined up, but they're still gathering in pretty much the same area. So where the foresters are planting their trees, that's where you get the mushrooms and everything else that grows in amongst the trees. So at least the area here is more or less where the gatherers are going to gather, get the overlap area, and then yes, they will still come outside a little bit, but the focus is on the inside. And same for the hunters, so anything inside there. So what we're doing, we're keeping a sustainable forest going with everything that we need for these 3 buildings. And then obviously as I chop down the wood, we've got it on cutting and planting. So when they, as we need, they'll chop down, but only the adult trees. They keep tending the younger ones. They grow, get chopped down eventually, and so the cycle just keeps continuing. Okay, we're still good on clothes. We've got both our houses. I've just left the builder going a little bit just to put these paths down. I've laid out where the paths are, but they haven't been built yet. And you can see here, they're starting to take, these ones have been worked over. There's the difference there. So when it's been worked over like this by a builder, the people move a lot quicker, and you see they're coming out of the forest to walk along the road, so the movement speed is a lot quicker. Okay. I am going to get rid of the builder, put you back on as a tailor, and start thinking about our fishing hut. So you can see the ring around the fishing hut. The best thing to do, try and place it so that as much of that ring is inside the water as possible. I can't go more there. That's about as good as I'm going to get, I think. So we will pop that down. We need 30 logs and 16 stone. We're good on all of those, so what I might do is leave that unpaused. And we will put down a road already. I don't want to go there. Come up here a little bit. And where is our remove road? To there. Okay. Now we need a builder again. How are we for clothes? We've got more tools than anything else, so let's get rid of that. And put on the builder, come and build a fishing hut. And now again, the fishing hut takes 4 people. So what I will do is initially, I'm just going to lay down 4 houses. I'm not going to build them. As the population increases, we will build the houses. Not as the population, well, as it does, but as we get up to our 4 fishermen, I'll build these houses as I need to. And one of these is just for future planning for what I'm going to put over there. And there we go. Right, that builder I think I'm going to put down as a fisherman. Oops, if I click correctly, there we go. Okay, food, we're still in a very, very good position. Have 1 fisherman, so let's at least gather what we need for 1 house. Why do you have a question mark? Has no job. How do you have no job? I am very confused. How do you have no job? Okay. Hey, as I took that labourer away, we ended up died during childbirth. Okay, it doesn't tell me what you were. Forester. Okay, so we'll put you back in as a forester. And now we start getting into that. Why? I'm very confused why that person doesn't have a job. Oh, because I still have Taylor set to not work. There we go. Okay, brain fart moment for this video done. Everything there is ready for our house, but we are in a teensy little bit of trouble. So I'm going to have to bring down a gatherer just to keep my labourers available. And we want the builder. I'm doing good on food, so I'm going to bring down one more gatherer just to give me a builder so I can get this house built. Once this house is built, we'll call it there for part 1. I know I don't have a blacksmith, but not too particularly bothered at the moment. Tools, we're still doing fine. Yeah, so once that is up and running, that'll be it for this episode. And then in the next part, we'll finish it off. We'll build the second little forest village, get up our market and our trade, and then that's really it. You can see here we're already summer in the 4th year, and we've hardly broken a sweat getting ourselves up and running. And this is it. We are self-sufficient now. Everybody's good. We're just now keeping up with expansion while trying to keep our population growing and making sure everybody has the food that they need. So yeah. If you have any other suggestions on how to start, or a seed that's good for this, if you want in the next part, I'll show you the seed. But please let me know, and we will we'll consider maybe we can turn this into a full play series. But intention mini series, and we'll leave it at that. But if you want more, then yeah, please let me know. But we'll see you in the next part.